Okay. So, I've done a little bit of fooling around, and unfortunately, some of the sound effects, like the spell sound effects and all that kind of things, they don't seem to be mixed the same way. Which is to say, you'd think that effects would cover everything, right? Spells and basically everything that wasn't specifically footsteps, you know, unsheathing a sword, the opening of a door, all that kind of stuff. But it's not. And, like, the cursor hardware noises are connected to master and not anything else. So, unfortunately, no matter what I seem to do, Morrowind will reset the master volume level each and every time I leave. Not any of the other ones, just the master one. And because Skyrim will, of course, fucking crash if I try to access another window while this is full screened, or even while this is just windowed. It does not want you to ignore it for even a second. All that to say, if I want to do a little bit of better sound balancing, then I have to, you know, for the poor viewer, I have to adjust this each and every time. So it's a little annoying, but I'll try to remember it. And I hope that this is much better, because it was also not feeling great in my ears either. I, of course, had the option to turn it down, but, well, you know, it would still record at the same level for you guys, even if it hurts my ears less. So, anyway, this episode, I do not imagine will be action-packed. I plan on primarily upping my skills from baby level. I'm not going to go too hardcore. I've only got 20,000 gold on me right now. That will change in time. But I've bought my spells. Now I gotta get good. And, oh, you'll probably also just... Stuff in the corner will be a little bit smaller. But I hope that the graphics look a little bit more crisp. I don't know if it will really make that much of a difference when I'm uploading it and, like, I don't know, YouTube compresses the shit because my internet sucks, or however the hell it works. But, like, you know, maybe it's slightly less disorienting, I hope. So, first thing first, we're chilling with the Thieves Guild. Obviously, this is what the South Wall Corner Club it looks like, the inside. I always enjoyed the downstairs where it has, like, the ivy, and, always thought that, well, big titty, Khajiit Chiranir. He was, like, one of the OG pals. I love this face for the, Khajiit. And I tended to pick it when I played a Khajiit. But yeah. Only he stands there, my fellow Argonian, and I remember always being mad jealous of these Finns. But yeah, the guy we want to make friends with right now is this guy, and you also. So to facilitate that, I will give you money until you like me. I could, theoretically probably save myself a little bit of gold if I was going to be that anal about it. By doing the Thieves Guild quests, which I will anyway, but I don't care, and I want to get my training done now. Man, fuck off. Do you want my money or not? I could save scum instead of just doing this trial and error over again, but again, I don't care enough to do that. Just take the money. Oh my god. I'm like this close to just handing you 1K. Obviously, the bigger the scale of money, the more likely it is to succeed and give you a big jump. Oh, I've never asked anyone else about Caius Casades prior to going to go meet him. It's interesting that there's unique dialogue for that. I will read it because it is super tiny. It's hard for me to read, but, like, for you guys, it'd probably be even worse. I don't remember if I've said this in this playthrough of it already, but, like, one of the things that Xbox Morrowind had over PC Morrowind was that though the old-timey text adds a kind of, I don't know, like, it's part of the stylistic immersion or whatever the fuck, right? I don't know exactly how you'd phrase that. But, like, it's hard to read, and there's no options from within the game to adjust that text size. So, like, and I'm not even that hard up on sight. I'm just nearsighted. Yeah, I've got a normal glasses prescription. But, like, for somebody that is hard of sight, or, like, it's an accessibility issue, like, this would drive me fucking insane. So I am glad that they changed it to a much larger and easier to read font for that version of the game. That said, we're stuck with this. So, we asked him about Caius Cosades, and he says, that old sugar tooth? I'm not sure where he's living now, but ask Barcola Closius, the owner. He'll know. Yeah, and he's just like, yeah, he's the owner. Imperial law. Interesting. Okay, so he explains the concept of, like, this is the law of the land, which is imperial law, and, you know, if you break the law, you'll get a big fine. For those of you... No, do I even want to get that political about it? I was just thinking about, like, in terms of, well, you know, if you just have one level fine, then essentially the only people that are prevented from doing anything are the poor. If you're rich, like, you can just basically do anything with impunity, because you can pay the fine. And the fine doesn't scale depending on how much money you make or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, it's 1,000 gold, no matter whether you are a literal pauper or a rich guy. And I think it's just one of those things, like, I'm not really sure. Like, some of the commentary in this game definitely seems to be intentional. Like, the people that wrote it, to some degree, understood the hypocrisy of, like, an imperialist culture, you know, coming in, but also just kind of like, nobody's really a hero. Like, the native Dunmer are also dicks. They have a really rigid and fanatical society that's, like, based on ancestor worship, and there's, like, these good positive qualities, but they're also literally, like, imprisoning heretics in a moon that floats over Vivek City, and, what the fuck am I doing? I'm literally just talking about politics, and I started wandering around Balmora. This is my ASMR Let's Play political commentary Morrowind long walking simulator. But anyway, obviously, like, you know, this is part of the mechanics of the game. Like, it's more for role-playing purposes and, like, things like, you know, if you try to murder somebody and you get caught, you can't be seen, you know, line of sight, gameplay stuff, right? But, like, what would the term be? The ludonarrative that you get from this kind of shit? Like, the implications of this on a larger scale. If you even stop to think about it for a second, it's like, wow, this world is, like, really horrifying on many levels. Like, the fact that outlaws don't have any rights. So, that was something from earlier, too, that we were like, what? That's pretty fucked up, don't you think? Let's see, I could probably use some security, but I will save that for now. Just remember, you know, then again, I guess if I up my int early, and having a lockpick is always handy. It's not really going to matter that much, but let's see, 1. And essentially all I plan on doing is, I think I already said this, I think I'm going to go with speechcraft. 1, 2...
Good day. Do you seek my services?
Did I totally trail off? I'm just going to train my skills up and level up and try to get a little bit more decent. You know, as we are now, we're more than a little bit squishy, and we really need to dig in. Ooh, I hear like a car in the distance revving up and speeding by, and I don't know if it's going to get picked up. Seems like it might be close. But,
I must say, I find you most interesting right
like
now.
what I
Please
see.
go ahead.
I don't remember what I was saying. Strength, endurance. Let's go with... I'll ignore you for now. I'm gonna go with you in medium armor. No. I guess I will go with heavy armor. It just seems like a better option. Gotta get my wires out of the way, so I'm not like... Creak. Creak. Let's see. Heavy armor. 1,
Dirt, everywhere.
2.
Dirt.
Maybe I'll do some other things too. I think I mentioned I'm in the Fighters Guild right now. Sorry for being really speedy about my camera swinging around. I hope that's not too disorienting. I just know where I'm going is all. Okay, so did I in fact train at anything that is a main skill? No? I am once again probably going to go with destruction training. Oh. I am going to mark here. So if it works. Yeah, I hope that was a lot more bearable to listen to, too. Because those spell noises are... Poof. It's like
Share your thoughts.
eardrum
I enjoy
piercing.
the company.
Let's see. No. I did in fact have a smoke, and I have not slept yet. It was 12 hours since I last said that in the chronological order of when I made these videos. So I've been awake for... I guess we're approaching like 30-something hours. I've been drinking lots of coffee, and I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. But I was also super hungry, and I could not sleep until I was able to get something to eat, at which point, like, what am I doing? God. At which point, I got a second wind. So, like, I mean, it's quiet, it's basically primo recordo time. You can't quite do it during the day at certain points because many people are active and running about, and there's dogs barking.
I will listen.
Don't worry.
But make it quick.
When you start having problems, I will help you. I almost went the wrong one again.
Make it quick, Outlander.
Let's see. I don't think I'm going to be attacked by another assassin for the next few days, and I think I only get the one dart.
Say to me?
Oof. I'm a little bit hesitant. As a kid, I managed to fuck a run of my game because, ever so slowly, this person is a main quest important NPC, and there's a aspect of this game where quest critical NPCs are not protected in any way. You can go totally old school and kill these motherfuckers. And when you do, you get a little alert telling you that you have severed the thread of prophecy, and now you can, like, persist in this doom world unless you load a save. But, like, there was some kind of glitch, and she very steadily began to kind of hover in this direction until presumably, I guess, she fell into the darkness and died, or whatever the fuck. And Caius Cosades, despite the fact it had nothing to do with it for once, was like, dude, Sharn was my pal, and, like, I'm not gonna fucking talk to you anymore. And I was like, dude, but it wasn't even me, though. And, like, it doesn't matter. She was lost to the void, and I had to start over. Now, I'm sure I have the ability to resurrect her or move her or whatever the fuck thanks to the console commands of PC, which is half the reason I basically play these games exclusively on PC now. Let's see, training? Oh, no. You, I must make my friend. Look, shut up. Do you like me or not? Oh, well, that was way too much money, but I'm not about to reload a save. Anyway, distraction. Boop.
Warm greetings, Outlander. Care to peruse my spell?
I do care to peruse your spells. I accidentally went and got another one again. But... And, like, the vast majority of my... I do not have the magicka for it. Do you get any shitty baby magicka potions? I guess I'll walk. I do enjoy the score of this game quite a bit, although the composer, not heard great things about the guy. That's all I'm going to say about that. Alright. Oh no. I guess I'm going to go with... Well, I gotta pick that one. And personality's honestly not that big of a deal, and I have plenty of personality skills I'm going to be working on. On the other hand, they're basically the same deal with security. Maximum amount of magicka. I'm kind of wondering, like, if it's one of those things I should max out early on, because I'll end up with more magicka if I do that, or if it's just one of those things that's like level times whatever times modus modifier equals total magicka. Sip of coffee. Definitely not a problem. I guess it doesn't really matter either way. Okay. We're gonna do the same thing over again.
I must say, I find you most interesting right now. Please go ahead.
I remember doing this a lot as a kid, although I was very frustrated that, medium armor didn't have a master trainer, and it was basically like an unfinished thing. In later games, they scrapped the concept of medium armor altogether and streamlined it to just heavy or light. Let's see. And they got rid of the concept of unarmored, unless you're just, like, fucking around without armor. But it's not like a skill. And I do miss that. Not gonna lie. Like, sometimes, like, I understand logically the concept of streamlining things and just focusing on like a few different, but like for role-playing, even if it's not like ideal, I like having the option and the freedom to do so. I don't know how many of those I just did, because they totally zoned out. Okay, we gotta speed up.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
Perhaps I should do short blade. Now, a lot of these master trainers I was just lucky enough to come across during the course of my game. Because, you know, sometimes you just like, I really want to train this up and I have a ton of money.
Okay, I'm listening.
And then it, like, you know, you start training with this person, you're like, you start hitting 60, 70, and you're like, God, is this going to stop anytime soon? And then you just get lucky and find out, oh, no, this is the master trainer, as a matter of fact. And that's how I found out about Todd Wendy here. Okay, we got that. Now, for short blade, I would like to get it up to, say, 40 or so. So that way I could use it as, like, a theoretical second skill. For combat and whatnot. There is that, you know, that netch I have to kill with that fork. So it's just good to keep in mind. But we're endgaming that spear. I don't care if it only has one good attack. Like, can't do slash, can't... It only has thrusts, but that's all we fucking need. Let's see. Security. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Until healed. Wakened by a loud noise. Looks like we have a visitor. I guess I didn't do a full 10 because I only have +4 here, but you plus you.
There is no escape.
And, you know, it's a good opportunity to train my Oh, that's horrible. It's way too loud. Let's find out if that's effects based. Oh no, it's not. Is it master based? No, it's not. What is it based on? This is a horrible, like, audio experience for me as well. It's like very specifically just the thrust. Because when I was slashing, it's like, yeah, you know, we're gonna do... God, the sound mixing in this game is stupid. No! Come on! This is my man under the bed, and I want him. Come on. Ugh. Excuse you. I will no clip. I'm gonna let these motherfuckers... Assassin, thank you. Take all. And dispose of corpse. Because I'm not letting him just perfectly ripe assassin good waste. Just because, you know, I can't reach him under the bed. It's gonna be a terrible smell. It's gonna attract bugs. Like, can't fucking have that. On the brush side, I did just prove myself wrong. I can, in fact, get more than one carved ebony dart. So, good job me. That will go into the leveling up more fund. So.
Stay as long as you like. It would be a privilege to talk with you.
Oh, I know. Ass kisser. 1, 2. You're just saying that because I gave you a lot of money. 3, 4, 5. I guess I could do like 5 destructions or whatever, and then do like 5 short blades. That'd probably be the best way to do it. Oh, not you. I don't like you. Actually, Elderfire's fine, I guess. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And getting that up is very helpful. I may or may not remember where the Destruction Master Trainer is. I know where the Alteration one is. It's in one of the Telvanni cities, and she's like in a hut by herself. If I see the hut, I will know exactly which one it is, but I can't remember the name offhand. Destruction, I don't remember, but I think she's also a Dunmer.
It's not often I find such good company. Please speak, Aragonian.
Short blade. 1. Oh, again? I'm surprised. I thought it would at least have to wait a couple days. Alright, time for, like, ear hell. I guess I could just hit him like this. It's gonna be slow, but at least it doesn't hurt my ears. Ah, fuck, never mind. This is like being stabbed in the ear with an ice pick each and every time I do that. But you know, that's just like the price that we pay, I guess. Dispose of corpse. I don't know what the siren's all about. Just noticed it. Should I offload some of this? Cute little thing.
Well, I find myself in pleasant company.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I've got to get heavy armor. Oh. Sorry, man. Sometimes forget that that's, like, threatening. Like, people will be uncomfortable if you just, like, have your weapon out. I think that's 5.
I suppose it is my duty.
Well, I need to go make money. Travel me on over to Caldera.
Anytime now.
I will listen.
Make it.
I don't know if it's now a little bit too quiet voices-wise or whatever, like from the ambient NPCs speaking to me as I pass, but like, I'm fine with that. I'm creeping! You sure, buddy? Now then. You can have that. He's gonna have both these silver daggers. You know, this. There'll be plenty more where this came from, I'm sure. I wonder what possessed them to put them in here. Hello, Caldera! I'm here all week. I'll be there longer than that. At least until you've outlived your usefulness. Yeah. I've got no particular reason to do that yet. Now, one way you can earn a lot of money very fast is by selling him your own gold over and over again, day after day after day. And, like, he doesn't, like, it'll just accumulate. You can actually do this with any NPC, from what I understand. It's just really convenient with this one because, you know, it's 5,000 gold increments. The money increases incredibly fast. But a lot of the time, when I was starting a new game in Morrowind, what I would do is sell my gold to this guy for, like, a year. And then I would kill him, and the rest of that money would just, like, fund my shit. Basically, for the rest of the game. Like, I never really needed more money after that. Okay. So, we have plenty more money again. That'll last us for a little bit.
Well, I find myself.
And I think I needed one more. No, we are actually perfectly at 5.
I'm waiting. Quickly outlander. I have
So... we can't just do a ton of this all at once either, because if we do that and we, like, get up a bunch of level ups, we're not going to get any attribute increases. It just does it for the first one. So we got to do it level by level. 1, 2, 4, 5. So our health has already increased quite a bit. We have 20 more health points than we had before. Because I believe we started with 35 and now we have 55. Two, 3, 4. Now, personally, I don't really care what armor I end up using. It's all the same to me. The better pieces are probably heavy armor, or... like, heavy army will protect you more. Heavy army. But obviously it's fucking heavy. And light armor has some pretty great protection options. Corrosive Savior's Hide. Basically being the prime example. And it's, of course, it's just in the, like, armory chest right near Divith Fear, who's a major quest NPC. So it's very along the way and convenient to
warm greetings.
get.
Care to peruse my spell?
2, 3. I think that was 3, right? I'm gonna stop at 50 for destruction for right now. 1, 2, 3. Hi. The willpower is great because it affects my fatigue and my my magic resist. So it governs two different things that are pretty important for me.
Go ahead.
As well as like pretty much all my major skills. So being able to max out on willpower pretty quickly, it'll be nice. And on top of that, we have the ring, so it'll be even easier. It'll be even easier. What's it doing? Oh, Todd Wendy. I wonder if it just looked like this all the time in the past. Hi, Todd Wendy. Wait, what am I doing? I don't need to do any of that. 1, 2, 3, 4,
What did I do to deserve this honor?
5. So let me double check what my shit. Obviously, speed governs speed, which great to have more of. Agility is really important to have more of too, which is why I'm very glad that my agility is currently 60. Willpower, intelligence, very good. Yeah, like I said, our main concern is fixing our endurance stat, which is just garbage right now. But we're almost at 50, so it's pretty decent now. Willpower almost at 60. It's pretty good.
Well, hello there.
This will probably be our last one for a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So.
I'm sure it's around here somewhere.
1, 2.
The pleasure is all mine.
And of course, as you can see, obviously my movement speed is getting a lot smoother. I'm a lot quicker than I was, even just with like that small increase to speed. Like, my life is already significantly improved, and my fatigue also is restored pretty quickly. So it's more or less a win-win. Let's see. Training. I'm going to have to go with alteration, because alterations are really helpful. Okay. Alright, I'm not such an embarrassment anymore, which is very good. So I've still got like about 3,000, well, almost 4,000. And my skills are looking a lot fresher, particularly in destruction, which has now become my most highly trained skill, which is great. It means I can kill the shit out of plenty of people. 5 to 52 points on touch. That's mysticism. Weird. Absorb health. Spells by... It's a shame there isn't a spells by, you know, school, but... Armor Eater, Black Hand... Fire bite. And I'll be damned if it costs me just about fucking nothing, huh? Okay, poisonous touch. Pretty good. It's not gonna hurt anybody like me, though. I believe I have 100% poison immunity for being a swamp creature. So, I'm gonna go get rid of some of this other loot that I have accumulated upon my person.
Well, I find myself.
Repair my weapons, and then maybe have a looky-loo at some of the local quests. Now, I feel like I'm going to be talking to you enough that it might be worth it just to, like, up your just entire vibe towards me. How about that? Yeah, our friendship was not easily gained, was it? So, you can have all this. And I guess I'll hang on to these ingredients. Alright. So, we're buddies with Revere. I think we'll go over here. Hey, could you repair my shit? Thanks. Because Silver Spear... Part of the reason I really wanted a Silver Spear to begin with is because, especially when I don't have anything enchanted, silver is like the only thing short of Daedric stuff that can actually hit like ghosts and certain like other undead enemies. So it's better to just have it on hand, just in case, even though it's a little bit more fragile. Look at us just zooming along. Anyway. I guess we'll go fuck around with the main quest. Say hey. Yep. Tell me about Caius Crusaders. Old Caius rents a little bed and basket just up the hill on the north edge of town. Go out the front door, not the upper door to the terrace, then right up the stairs, then left at the top of the stairs, and down to the end of the street. Such simple directions, and yet, child me found this quite elusive. But eventually I did figure out where it was. It's so funny, like, obviously this is nothing, but as a child I found this, like, whoa, like, there's so many different buildings to go into, how do I even know where to go, you know? Like, it was a giant maze to me.
Yes.
Much simpler time. So anyway, let's take a look at this guy's house. Apprentice probes. Various goods. There's a chest here that's very trapped and very locked. He's got moon sugar, he's got a skooma pipe. This guy does have a good time. And War of the First Council. I'm going to see how long this is. It's not very. And it gives us a little bit of background to what's happening in this game. So, the War of the First Council. This account by the imperial scholar Agrippa Fundilius is based on various imperial and Dunmer sources and written for Western readers. The War of the First Council was a First-Age religious conflict between the secular Dunmer houses Dwemer and Dagoth and the orthodox Dunmer houses Indoril, Redoran, Dress, Hlaulu, and Telvanni. The First Council was the first pan-Dunmer governing body, which collapsed over disputes about sorceries and enchantments practiced by the Dwemer and declared profane by the other houses. The secular houses, less numerous, politically and magically more advanced, and aided by Nord and Orc clans drawn by promise of land and booty, initially campaigned with great success to the north of Morrowind and occupied much of the land now comprising Redoran, Vardenfell, and Telvanni district. The Orthodox houses, widely dispersed and poorly organized, suffered defeat after defeat until Nerevar was made general of all house troops and levies. Nerevar secured the aid of nomad barbarian tribesmen and contrived to force a major battle at the secular stronghold of Red Mountain on Vardenfell. The secular forces were outmaneuvered and defeated with the help of the Ashlander scouts, and the survivors forced to take refuge in the Dwemer stronghold at Red Mountain. After a brief siege, treason permitted Nerevar and his troops to enter the stronghold, where the secular leaders were slain, and Nerevar mortally wounded. General slaughter followed, and houses Dwemer and Dagoth were exterminated. Nerevar died shortly thereafter of his wounds. 3 of Nerevar's associates among the Orthodox houses, Vivek, Almalexia, and Sothasil, succeeded to control of the recreated First Council, renamed the Grand Council of Morrowind, and went on to become the God Kings and Immortal Rulers of Morrowind, known as the Tribunal or Alm Civi. So, I'm sure that was greatly illuminating. There's going to be a little bit of creaking as I adjust. Oof. This chair is rough on this ass, I tell you. But just, like, depending on how I sit. If I sit up properly, it's fine. But if I start to, like, lean on my tailbone, it's like, fuck you. Okay. So, like, we'll learn more about all of this later on.
What was that?
This will all be relevant to us soon enough. What? Yes, I'm Caius Cosades. But what do you mean you were told to report to Caius Cosades? What are you talking about? So, you say your name is Pondskipper and you've been told to report to me and deliver a package. Perhaps you'll let me look at it? Yes. Yes, very interesting. So, it says here the Emperor wants me to make you a novice in the blades, and that means you'll be following my orders. Are you ready to follow my orders, Pondskipper? Yes. Good. Welcome to the service, novice. Now, you belong to the Blades. We're the Emperor's eyes and ears in the provinces. You can use my bed if you need to rest, but leave my personal stuff alone unless I say otherwise. If you like, you can improve your modest skills with our Blades trainers now. Or if you're in a hurry, I can give you the orders right away. But don't forget to visit the Blades trainers. So, Blades trainers. These Blades agents offer training. Not free, of course, but cheap for a fellow agent. Look for Rithleen, Tyre-Malin, Nine Toes here in Balmora. In Caldera, see Serene Leorian. In Aldrune, see Gildan. Jorvar, Horsemouth, lives in a... Fucking, I got a horsemouth trying to say that shit. Lives in a hut west of Aldrune. And Alone the Scout can be found at Aril's Trade House in Sedanine. See what we've already heard of. So, let's get this, and we'll get a little journal about each of them as like a reminder of this is where you find these guys. Warrior Rithleen lives 2 houses south. Tyre-Malin. Healer Tyre-Malin lives 2 houses south downstairs. Nine Toes. To get to Hunter Nine Toes, leave my door facing south. Go right down the steps, then turn and head south, looking for his door on your left. Sarain Leoran. Mage Sharan Leorian is in Caldera, the next town north. I will pronounce that different every time. Her half-timber and stone house north sits between the twin towers of the North Gate and Governor's Hall. Okay, Gildan. Nightblade Gildan lives in Aldrune. He's probably the closest to what I actually typically play as if I had to, like, name it. I do tend to lean towards the Nightblades. Lives in Aldrune. The Redoran district seat north of here beyond Caldera. Gildan is in the southeast corner of the town, in a house to the right of the steps up to the temple. So, Rubbing Nose, Jorvar Horsemouth, Master at Arms, lives in a guar herder's hut in the middle of nowhere west of Caldera. I've only been there once, and I couldn't give you directions. Go look for him if you feel like a little hike. Yeah, good fucking luck, he basically says. And Alone the Scout. Alone the Scout, right? It's probably like Elone, but I'm gonna say Alone. Alone the Scout Could usually be found at a Rills trade house in Saint Denis. You know where that is. You arrived in Saint Denis by boat. Yes, I remember. Let's see. The temple. So he's got a ton of topics, and I'm just going to fucking unlock all of them, because they will just keep opening up one after the other until I do exactly that. So, Forticais Cusades. I'm going to choose orders last, because that will basically open up, you know, my first quest with this guy. So, orders. Well, one look at you and anyone can see you're an experienced adventurer. That can be your cover identity. Around here, freelance adventurers are thick as fleas in a guar. You want to keep active in that line, just to avoid unwanted attention. So, I have orders for you whenever you're ready. Yeah, normally if you get here and you're like level 1, he's like, fucking don't even worry about it. Go take care of your shit. Fucking learn how to hold a sword. Come back when you're like not gonna die in one hit. Which is great. Good advice. Because of where this shit will take you. So, orders. Ready for orders? Good. Go talk to Hasfat and Tabulus at the Balmora Fighters Guild. Ask him what he knows about the Nerevarine secret cult and the 6th House secret cult. You'll have to do him a favor first, probably an ugly favor, but do it. Then get the information from Antabulus and report back to me. By the way, Hasfat is a student of Morrowind history. Take the chance to get a little education. And I have a few history books in here. Help yourself. You're welcome to them. No point in being part of history if you're too ignorant to understand it. I always liked Caius. He struck me as a pretty interesting guy. Especially because he's like, kind of, I'm sure there's actually like a canon explanation for what happened to him, because at some point in the game he will leave and he's like, we've been called back to the mainland because there's some kind of emergency going on. You know, and I've got to check that out. And I think he ends up dead, but like, he's like a spy master. But he seems to genuinely give a shit about this place. Like, he's got a drug problem, so most of the time he's just doing skooma or whatever the fuck. Can't blame him. And he just has this kind of, I guess, personal sense of responsibility about what he's doing. Like, he knows he's working for the Emperor, and the Emperor has, like, visions and shit. And is kind of, like, directly dealing in the hand of fate and prophecy. It's not something he believes in at first, but over the course of watching you, he becomes converted, and that's gonna be a hard realization. Like, oh, fuck. Like, this world where gods and Daedra and, you know, crazy shit happen on a regular basis, I'm straight up in the thick of it now, dealing with Nerevarine. And, like, Nerevarine can fail, you know? Like, they can die. It happens. You find that out over the course of the story. So, Hasfat. He's drill master of the Balmora's Fighters Guild. He's lived in Morrowind all his life, knows the natives, and talks a lot with backcountry mercenaries. He thinks of himself as a scholar, and he's particularly interested in Dwemer ruins and artifacts. Gotcha. So, what's this then? Nerevarine? Some Dunmer believe that an orphan and outcast, a youth born on a certain day to uncertain parents, will one day unite all the tribes of the Dunmer, drive out the invaders of Morrowind, and re-establish the ancient laws and customs of the Dark Elven nations. They call this orphan and outcast the Nerevarine, and they say the Nerevarine will be a reincarnation of the long-dead Dunmer general and first chancellor, Lord Inderil Nerevar. Or counselor, rather than chancellor. Do hit those elven names a little hard. Hit most names a little bit hard. Okay, so 6th house. A trusted informant says they're a secret cult associated with some strange events recently. And more important, my informant thinks these recent disturbances are related in some way to the Nerevarine prophecies. Okay, so the prophecies. The illiterate Ashlanders pass down their customs and history in the form of poetic verse. Among the things they preserve in verse are the dreams and prophetic visions of their wise women, in particular the verses that foretell the coming of the Nerevarine, but I don't know much about it. That's why I'm sending you to find out. So yeah, very interesting. And I think I did just ask about that. So Nerevarine. Alright, well, this is my first quest. Go learn some Morrowind history. Oh, I think I can actually ask him and he'll give me a book. Jeanette Sitt's little book is a good place to start. I have a copy here, take it. You might also look for On Morrowind, the Imperial Province by Aramanwe of Sunhold. A short history of Morrowind has been added to your inventory. I'm not going to read that. I think it's, like, it says it's a short history, but Morrowind is very old. Okay, so it's only 10 pages, so that's not too bad. Some of these can go on for like 50 plus pages. So, yeah. And this will give us more about the concept and history of what's going on with, you know, why are there Ashlanders? Why are there settled houses? Why are they at such odds with one another? You know, like, it explains those things. You can find those answers. Got the shrine going. Oh boy. Given the train tends to go for quite a bit, and I don't know if it's being picked up at all. So I'm gonna run over to Hasfat here in the Fighters Guild, and I am going to save and quit. And that will be it for me for a little bit. But next time we're going to pick up on the main quest scenario. So, see you then. Oh no. Okay, thank God. Even if my computer crashes because, you know, Morrowind, I can at least hit stop recording.